Hey everybody, it's Nancy from Rise Higher Astrology. How are you? It's good seeing you again. Today we're going to be going over Virgo Rising. What is going on over these next few weeks as we head into the month of May? Now, these readings are for the rising signs. I cover all of the houses that are being affected by the transits, the lunations. So the most accurate reading for you is going to be your rising sign. So if you are a Virgo rising, welcome in. And I have a secret. I am also a Virgo rising. I'm 5 degrees Virgo rising. I am a Leo sun, and 5 degrees is the Leo degree. So there you go. So I'm just going to tell you right now that we have an amazing year that is being teed up for us. Uh, and it kicked off with the two eclipses that we just had. I'm going to do a really very quick recap of those eclipses before we dive into what's happening towards the tail end of May, which is you're going to be very excited about this. So back in March 25th and April 8th, we of course have the two lunations. We have the eclipses, the full moon lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Libra in the second house. And then we had the new moon solar eclipse happening in our eighth house in the sign of Aries. And this is a chart of the new moon solar eclipse. And clearly there is there's changes happening in our money houses. Second and eighth houses are succeedent houses. So succeedent houses are the second house, the fifth house, the eighth house, and the 11th house. And those are the houses that come after the angular houses. And those succeedent houses are they are a continuation of whatever work we put into the angular houses. So it's going to show you all of the fruits of your labor. It's going to show you stuff like money, shared assets, right? Because with the second house, that's your income that comes from you personally, right? And then the eighth house is the house of shared assets, and it's from whatever stems from the seventh house of marriage, contracts, and relationships. And this could also be business partnerships. Okay. Now, these eclipses happened at an inconjunct or what's called a quincunx to your ascendant, okay, here in Virgo. What that means is you need to make an adjustment in your second house as well as in your eighth house, okay, and it has to do with your assets. And for some of you out there, and not all of you, okay, so don't come at me, but for some of you out there, this means a separation or a divorce or a separation from a significant other. And you need to make adjustments with your finances before you can move on to achieve the next goal in your life. Okay, that's not for everyone, but there definitely is something in those succeedant houses that need a little bit of a tweak. Okay, regardless if you're going through a divorce or not, or a breakup. It could be that you need to make adjustments to your investments. It could be that you need to look at your mortgage. You need to look at your career, your second house of income. You need to look at what you're doing for income and make a tweak there. You're the one that knows what needs to be done exactly. Okay, so that's a brief recap of those eclipses. Now on coming up on the 23rd of April, we are having a full moon in the sign of Scorpio, and it's happening at 4 degrees of Scorpio. It's happening in our third house. Now, third house, the sixth house, the ninth house, and the 12th houses are the cadent houses of our birth chart. And what these houses do is they indicate places where we need to gather up information. So it's an information gathering time. And with each house, it's a little bit different. So in other words, third house, you gather up information by learning, going to a class, going back to school, something like that. Okay. This in the sixth house, you would gather information by changing your habits, by trying things out a little bit differently than you normally would. That's how you'd be gathering information. In the ninth house, you gather information by thinking outside the box. And also it could indicate gathering information by doing some traveling, okay? Taking a pilgrimage, for instance. And then the 12th house, information would be gathered by getting some downloads from source, okay? From source, God, the universe. It will be internal, your intuition. You will be receiving more information that way. But on this full moon in the sign of Scorpio, it is in the third house. So there is something there. There's something that you need to learn. Okay. Now, Scorpio is not a fun place for the moon to be because the moon is debilitated in Scorpio. And this is going to be a really, really intense full moon. I mean, full moons are always a little bit on the intense side. They always tend to be a little bit emotional, but this is like on steroids, okay? And the reason being, it's not just because of the moon being in a debilitated sign. It is also about the ruler of Scorpio, which is Mars. Mars is currently in the sign Pisces right now, and he is close to Neptune. So that is a lot of water. You know, the moon being in Scorpio, Scorpio's ruler, Mars being in Pisces, with it being so close to Neptune. So you're going to be in your feels on the 23rd. And this is energy that will last for, plan on it lasting for at least a week, if not 2 weeks, until, we get the next explanation. It is going to be a doozy. Okay. So be prepared for that. Be prepared. We don't owe, we get a full moon in the sign of Scorpio once a year, but we don't always get one with the dispositor being, in a water sign and also so close to Neptune. So you could also experience, some downloads of information. And so don't be surprised. The moon will be at 4 degrees of Scorpio. The fourth degree is the Cancer degree. So there could be a revelation about your home, okay, about your roots, about your family, and about your mom. Okay. And that message is for someone specifically. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we're going to cover is this new moon in Taurus that's happening on the 7th and 8th of May, 7th or the 8th, depending on where you are on the planet. We're getting this new moon. And it's a really exciting one because this one's at 8 degrees of Taurus. It sits really close to where Jupiter conjunct Uranus happened on the 20th of April. So this is going to bring in a surprise. This new moon is going to be bringing in lots of change. Okay. Lots of big, significant change. So the last time that Jupiter was conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus was back in 1941. Okay. And as you all know, that was the year that the United States joined the other countries in World War II. And the last time we had a Jupiter Uranus conjunction in any sign was back in 2010. And that was right before we had that Arab Spring, which was the uprising in Egypt. So whenever we have Jupiter conjunct Uranus, a lot of gnarly things happen in the world. Okay. And, it's a lot of spontaneous life-changing events that pop up. So I believe that in your personal chart, it doesn't have to be anything that's so dire. This could be something that's very positive for you, but just keep it in the back of your mind that with the world events, normally something pretty significant unfolds in a really gnarly way whenever we have these two conjuncting each other. So you might want to stock up on food, save some money, don't spend a lot of money because this is happening in the sign of Taurus, which is all about security, okay, security, money, um, and you just want to make sure that all your ducks are in a row. Um, I don't want you to live in fear, okay, but be prepared. There's nothing wrong with being prepared for worst case scenarios, okay? We could see a lot of ups and downs happening in the stock market, which we normally do this time of year. Okay. So yeah, so just be prepared for some change happening and you will be fine. Now, this last chart that I want to show you is the best, the best, the best transit for Virgo rising, okay, in the month of May because we've got Venus conjunct Jupiter at 29 degrees of Taurus. Okay. It sits on the cusp of your 10th house of career and public image. And they come together, they kiss at 29 degrees in the sign of Taurus, which is Venus's favorite sign. It's the sign that represents, of course, money and security. They do this right before Jupiter takes his leap into your 10th house, where he's going to be staying for the next year and 1 month. He will stay in there until June of 2025. Now, what is Jupiter? Why do we care so much about this? And this is great. Okay. So Jupiter is the planet of joy. It's the planet of good luck. It's planet of expansion. Jupiter, so everybody thinks that the sun is so important. It's what the planets revolve around. But let me tell you, the sun actually revolves around something called the barycenter. Okay, it's the space that's at the very center, and the sun wobbles around the barycenter. And what makes the sun wobble around the barycenter is Jupiter. Jupiter is so huge and so dense that it almost became another star, another sun. And it actually is the only planet in our solar system that emits its own light. All of the other planets refract the light from the sun, but Jupiter does that, but it also has its own internal light because it was almost a sun, a star. So Jupiter is what keeps the sun moving around the barycenter, and it keeps all the planets moving around the sun. Not only does it do this for the sun, but it also it sucks all of the space debris that would otherwise, kill us. Okay. It pulls all of that out of the way so that all of the inner planets are protected. Okay. Um, so Jupiter is this almost like this um, guardian angel for us. It's a protector, it's guru, um, it's knowledge. It's a lot of wonderful things in this big gas giant. And another thing that is so important about Jupiter is it is the ruler of a fire sign. It's ruler of Sagittarius. And if you take all three of the planets that rule over a fire sign, so we have the sun, which rules over Leo, we've got Jupiter, which rules over Sag, and we have Mars that rules over Aries. So the sun being the chief fire sign, the sun is the sun. It's this big ball of fire, and it's in the heavens. And then Mars is represented by passionate, powerful force, like liquid lava, right? That erupts from the ground beneath with angry force. But Jupiter is it represents fire, but it's also the ruler of Pisces, which is all about the ether. So when you combine fire and ether, you get lightning. And so that's what Jupiter represents. It represents the intermediary between heaven, the sun, and Earth, Mars. And it's lightning. It's this quick flash of knowledge, this quick flash of information. If you ever see, sometimes when somebody gets a epiphany, you'll see like a lightning bolt will hit, right? It's like this instantaneous, like inner knowing. And that's Jupiter. That is Jupiter. It's just this wonderful um, energy. And I'm a little bit jealous of Sagittarius and Pisces rising because Jupiter's your chart ruler, and it's like having a big brother, looking over your shoulder and protecting you. So we're getting this amazing planet in our 10th house of career and public image throughout the year into next year, and he'll stay there until the middle of June. And so being in the sign of Gemini, so Gemini is about communication, it's about thinking, intelligence. And when it's in our 10th house, this is a time where, we are going to be coming up with brand new ideas. So if you are on the verge of, let's just say, creating your own YouTube channel, starting a new business, of coming up with more marketing plans to get yourself out there, this is the best time to do it, folks. This is the best time. And yeah, so we've got some really good things coming on the horizon. Now is not the time to sit on your laurels. Okay. Now, the best thing on top of having this conjunction happening is that it happens on May 23rd, which is the exact same day that we will have a full moon in Sagittarius. Okay. It will be happening at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. And this, unlike the full moon in Scorpio, this is going to be a very gentle full moon. Okay. This is going to actually be revealing the path. Okay. Because it's Sagittarius ruler is Jupiter. This full moon is going to shine a spotlight on the path for success for you. Okay. So I want you to just take this all in, jot down some notes, make some really big plans, because your house, your 10th house of career, is getting ready to explode in the best way possible. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I'm super excited for you. And I'm sending love And we'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.